Israel has conducted a series of airstrikes on Iran, responding to what the Israeli military describes as ongoing attacks from Tehran and its allies. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, reported that they targeted specific military sites in Iran, accusing the nation of persistently assaulting Israel since October 7th of last year. This confirmation of strikes came after Iranian state media reported explosions in and around Tehran. The escalation follows Tehran's launch of nearly 200 ballistic missiles toward Israel on October 1st, which it claimed was retaliation for the assassination of Hamas's political leader on Iranian soil in July. Images from Tehran show explosions in the background, while the Israeli government shared photos of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant monitoring the situation from the Israel Defense Ministry's operations room in Tel Aviv. IDF spokesman Daniel Hagari stated, "The Israel Defense Forces has fulfilled its mission. If Iran makes the mistake of escalating further, we will respond." He emphasized that anyone threatening Israel would face severe consequences, asserting Israel's readiness to defend itself both offensively and defensively. As of now, Israel claims to have completed its strikes on Iranian military targets, with all aircraft returning safely. Reports indicate that military bases in western and southwestern Tehran were among the targets. However, Iranian state media is downplaying the impact of these attacks, according to BBC Persian. The Pentagon confirmed that the U.S. was informed about the strikes beforehand but did not participate in the operation. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, speaking from Samoa, urged Iran not to retaliate, affirming Israel's right to self-defense against Iranian aggression while calling for restraint to avoid further regional escalation. The U.S. has echoed this sentiment, warning Iran against retaliation and stating that any response would have consequences. Saudi Arabia condemned the strikes and called for de-escalation, while a UK government spokesperson expressed support for Israel's right to defend itself within international humanitarian law, emphasizing that further escalation benefits no one. Our chief international correspondent, Lise Doucette, provided context, noting that this moment is critical. Israel's expected response was backed by the U.S., which affirmed Israel's right to act. So far, the strikes have focused on military targets rather than nuclear sites or oil refineries, aligning with expectations. The U.S. hopes this will be the end of hostilities, but Iran has indicated it may retaliate, leading to uncertainty about future actions. Doucette also highlighted internal discussions in Iran regarding how to respond, especially given the pressures from conservatives and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, holds ultimate authority and faces pressure to act decisively following recent losses, including the killing of key figures associated with Iran's interests. Israeli reports significant damage to Iran's air defense systems, potentially allowing Israel greater freedom for future operations. The question remains whether Iran will perceive itself as more vulnerable and how it will adjust its strategy moving forward. This situation marks a significant shift in the dynamics of the Middle East, as Iran has relied on proxies like Hezbollah and Hamas for defense against Israel. With those defenses now compromised, Iran must reassess its position. The use of ballistic missiles in their recent attack indicates a willingness to escalate, raising concerns about potential nuclear ambitions despite the Supreme Leader's previous denouncements of such pursuits. Looking ahead, the outcome of upcoming U.S. elections could influence the balance between Israel and Iran. A return of former President Trump might lead to unpredictable policies, while the Biden administration has been cautious about military actions that could escalate tensions further. The ongoing conflict in Gaza remains central to these developments, with ceasefire talks stalled and military objectives shifting. As Israel intensifies its focus on multiple fronts, including Lebanon, the situation continues to evolve, with leaders like Netanyahu overseeing operations closely.